So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today I have Richard Heller, and he's from the band ØRESUND SPACE COLLECTIve, which just put out a new album back in July, and it's called Orgone Unicorn. So we're here to talk all about it. So first of all, Richard, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's hot now, so it's summer. It's real summer now in Portugal.
Oh, you're in Portugal. Nice.
Yes, I've been living in Portugal now for 7 years, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like a great place to live. So, for people who I know you guys have been around since 2005, 2006, and you have over 40 plus albums. So a lot of music. This I listened to this one. It's very instrumental, and I was actually not feeling. I wasn't feeling that great this morning, and I put the album, and it got me like to meditate, and so I felt a little bit better. So, for people who never listened to the band, tell us a little bit about, like what the band sounds like and all that good stuff.
Whoa, well, that's really that's really difficult to describe. But I mean, the over 40 albums because of our sound has changed over time, and but it's all instrumental space rock, I would call it, because it's rock. It's all rock music, and it has spacey elements due to the modular synthesizers and other analog synthesizers that I play and other people play as well. And there's always, if except for in a few exceptions, there's always at least two guitar players, and there's drums and bass, and usually two synthesizers as well. So we're usually at least six people, but there are some exceptions where it's been five, but mostly it's always at least six and or more
So
people.
how do you get inspired, like to write so much music? Because 40 albums is a lot of albums in a short space of time.
Yeah, well, it's because we don't have to write the music. We actually are totally improvised. So our music is made up on the spot,
Oh,
whether
wow.
it's a concert or whether it's in the studio. It's all just recorded absolutely live. So what you hear on the album is what we played in the studio. We might take a few things away and occasionally fix some error or something, but it's more or less what you hear is what we played in the studio or at the concert.
Okay. So so this album, which is like 2 hours and 29 minutes, it's divided into 2 days. Did you just go in and just write this stuff? Did you know what you were gonna play, or you just improvise?
No, no, we just improvise. I mean, we choose what key to play and what scale to play in. Play in Dorian, Phrygian, or standard tuning, and then we choose what key to play in, and then we just say, okay, maybe this one will have the sitar, or maybe this one
Yeah.
will be more will be more proggy, or will be more experimental, or maybe we'll do something funky or a Santana inspired groove or something, and then we just go and everybody just plays and we just see what happens. So like
Wow.
David Graham's Wormhole Ride, which is a bonus track on the CD2, that was the very first jam of the 2023 studio session. That was just the first piece of music we made.
Yeah, and you have some long songs. And like you said, Eno's Donut has like a Japanese type of feel, and then you have Orgone Unicorn, a one that sounded like more Middle Eastern. So yeah, it was a lot of like so yeah, it's interesting. So you guys recorded this in one day, and that was it.
Let's see.
Did it took a few days?
That studio session took place over 5 days. In those 5 days, we had 26 pieces of music were recorded.
Wow.
Ranging from like 12 to 15 minutes to up to, I think the longest piece in that session was 47 minutes.
That's a long time, yeah. So do you guys go and play this? You go and play this stuff live too, because should be interesting to listen to his live or just recording in the studio?
No, we play live, but of course we never play anything from our records because the live band is also just sort of whoever I can get. Whenever I
Okay.
manage to, whenever I, whenever I manage to get a concert date, then I'll just write to different musicians who are in the collective and say, "Hey, are you available to play these concerts?" So
So
the lineup is
when you go to see a band like your band, you don't know what you're gonna get.
you have no idea what you're going to get. You don't even know who's going to be playing.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you like that approach of playing live, just going with the flow?
I love it. I love it. So I mean, we've been doing this. Our first concert was in February 2005, and we have like almost 20 years of experience doing this with the different lineups. And yeah, I love it. There's nothing. It's very exciting to get out there, and then you you get the feedback from the audience, and that influences how you're going to play, and everybody just is happy, and you get into a mood, and you just see what happens.
So when you go into your concerts, do you know how long you're gonna play for, or you just whatever, like let it flow with the audience?
Well, these days most of our concerts we have sort of like we know kind of how long it's going to be, but in the old days we used to play in an underground club in Copenhagen 2-3 times a year called Dragens Hule, which means the Dragon's Cave.
Mm.
And there, who knows? We usually played 3 sets, and on one occasion we played 4 sets, and there we could play for 3, 4, and one time we played almost 5 hours.
Wow.
So
That,
there people so there we got people got quite long concerts. I mean, these days I think we very rarely play more than 3 hours, but almost all of our concerts at least 2 to 3 hours. So they're quite long.
yeah, no, nice. So every time you see the band, it's a different experience because you don't know who's gonna be there. So you've been the constant in the band, right?
I have been the constant, yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's a few people like Moans who is the lead synthesizer player, and he still plays most of our live concerts with us, and he's been there since 2000 and maybe since late 2004 I think was when he first started playing with us, so he's been there a long time as well.
Okay. So when you got this project together, what inspired you to make this like such experimental project?
Well, I was playing synthesizer and managing a Danish band called Gas Giant, which played like psychedelic space stoner rock. And in 2004, they decided they didn't want synthesizer anymore. They want to move into a slightly different direction with the band. And so I had been managing them, and then I was playing with them. Then suddenly I didn't have a musical project anymore. And so I gathered together my friends in the Danish band called Mantric Muse and my Swedish friends in the band Bladen, which were from Malmo, Sweden. And so, and I said, well, why don't we just have some jams and just see how it goes? There was no idea that we would form like a band or anything. It was just, let's get together in the rehearsal room and have some jams. And in 2004, Maunus from Mantric Muse and I took the train, I think, or did we? Yeah, I think we took the train over to Malmo and we jammed in the Bladen rehearsal room, and we had such a great time. And then like 2 months later, the Bladen guys took the train over and to Copenhagen, and we jammed in the Mantric Muse rehearsal room. And then it was suddenly like, okay, we're making good music and it's fun. And we did that over the next 6-7 months or so, and then it was time to decide, okay, well, what are we going to call this project? Because let's try to play a live concert. And that's kind of like how it was born.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show the artwork of the latest album. Here it is, the ØRESUND SPACE COLLECTIVE Orgone Unicorn. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration for this artwork.
Yeah. Well, David Graham from Sheffield, England, he's made art for must be about 20 of our records now, and he did the amazing artwork on the last album called Carnival in last studio album called Carnival in Portugal. And I think he started listening to some of the music and he wanted to do something completely different than the artwork he had done for the last many albums. And so he decided to do something kind of much more abstract. And this is sort of what he came up with. And when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's pretty weird, but it's also really, really cool. So I don't know where exactly he got his inspiration for doing it, but I allowed him to hear some of the music in advance because I like to do that with the art because it can inspire the artist potentially to when he makes the artwork.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it does sound like the music that you listen to on this album.
Yeah, in many ways, it is kind of a reflection of the different sides of the record. So yeah, I was really happy with the artwork, and I know Ken from Laser's Edge, when he first saw the artwork, he was, I don't know, but I think it's really grown on him now, and I think he really likes it now as well. Once he got to hear the record and
Yeah, no. So yeah, it's a cool artwork. It goes with the music. So right now, are you working on new music? What's your like thought process when you're creating?
well, at the moment, I'm trying to finish up. We've just finished up 2 live DVDs. One is from the Crescendo Prague Festival in France. We played there in 2022, and it was filmed with 4 cameras in 4K HD quality. And I had a local Portuguese guy, Ruben, who mixed that of the 4 cameras, and that's all ready to go for a DVD, which I hope will come out in a few months. So I've been working on that, and then we also have another DVD from the Cause Fest from July of 2023 that was also filmed with like 8 different cameras, and that was more tricky to mix, but Ruben managed to mix that, so that will probably be another DVD that will come out next year because we haven't released very much DVD footage with like really high quality good camera footage. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, but we only have really like a couple proper DVDs, and this is and these 2 I think are very good. And then one of our records from about 3 years ago called Relaxing in the Himalayas, it was released only on a CD for our Bandcamp subscribers initially. And then there was about 50 or 75 copies that were for sale to the general public. But there's been cries from the fans that, hey, we really want this one on vinyl.
Okay.
And so we've made a vinyl master for that, and that will also come out at the end of the year on a vinyl record in November, I think in 300 copies, Relaxing in the Himalayas. And then there's still loads of stuff from the September 2023 session. We recorded like 12 or 13 hours of material in the over those 5 days in the studio. And Jonathan Siegel, who mixed most of the material on Orgone Unicorn, he mixed four more tracks, and I mixed. Let's see, I've been working on this stuff. So I mixed 5 more tracks, I think. I mixed jam 15, 17, 23, 24, and 11. So that's
so you're constantly working, you're constantly creating music.
well, I'm sitting here in my studio. So when I built a professional studio here in Portugal for myself and for ØRESUND Space Collective and also for local musicians. And so when I'm not working in the garden or writing music reviews or doing other stuff, sending out lots of packages, then I come over here to the studio and try to be creative, making my own solo work. And I have a duo in Portugal called Doctors of Space, and then most of my time is still spent on stuff with ÖRESUND Space Collective. And
yeah. So you said you review music. Where do you review music?
I have a blog called Writing About Music at blogspot.com.
Okay.
And I used to write like 200 reviews a year. I used to be very, very active. But since I built the studio, things have been Yeah, very much more busy, and people send me a lot less music to review now. So I don't review so much. I maybe make 20 or 30 posts a year now compared to 200. So
Yeah, that's way less. Like, what type of music did you review?
I reviewed pretty much everything that everybody sent me, but mostly people sent me psychedelic rock or stoner rock or or space rock music.
Interesting. So what's next for the band? I know you told me a lot, like, are you going to record new music as well, or are you going to take a little bit of break of new music?
Yep, the plan is we've been hired to make a soundtrack for a short animated film.
Oh, nice.
And so in September, they will come back with us with a basic cut of the idea for the film. And then in early December, we plan to go in the studio and make the music for that film and then record new music ourselves.
Well, that would be interesting because writing music for a film, you're gonna see the film and like try to write something that goes with the film. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's something new for you, right?
I as a group we've never done it, but some of the people, Jonathan Siegel, who plays in the band, who's from the band Camper Van Beethoven and lots of other projects, he has experience doing film music. So this is gonna be very helpful for all of us because he
Yeah.
has some
I think the style of music that you guys play can lend itself to film. So
absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
uh,
So that's going to be fun, and the film is only like 9 minutes.
okay. So you just
So
gotta
it's
write a 9 minute song.
so yeah, we have to.
A
So
score.
that's going to be fun. So that in December we'll all get together in the studio, but instead of down here in Portugal, I'm actually going to go up to Stockholm,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and so we'll record in Matthias Olsson from Änglagård in his studio up in Stockholm.
Nice. Sounds like a plan. Where can people get the new album if they choose to buy it?
Orgone Unicorn you can buy directly from Laser CD in America. I think it's lasercd.com. And you can buy it also from the ÖRESUND Space Collective at .bandcamp.com. And in Germany, you can buy it from sapphire/records.de. And I think Alive distribution in Germany sells it directly. And I think ClearSpot NL also sells it. And oh, and Greg Walker in Utah, he has a prog called Symphonic Music, and I'm pretty sure he will sell it because he usually sells most of our releases. So
Nice. Yeah. So I'll post the link for people who want to buy it. So Richard, before I let you go, anything you like to say to the people watching this, like or the fans of the band?
yes, I'd like to tell everybody that we are having a 20th anniversary concert in Copenhagen on April 11th and 12th, and tickets are going to go on sale next week.
2025. Okay.
2025. It'll be at a club called Stinge in Copenhagen, and there's only 200 tickets available for each day. And it's going to be two sets each night with different lineups for each of the sets. From I think I've gathered together 16 people who've played in the collective over the years. So some people will be coming from Stockholm and some from Norway and a lot of people from Denmark and Malmo and Sweden. And it's going to be a very special event with a special tote bag, and we're going to have a special poster display, and we're maybe going to maybe going to have a special CD available only for the fans at that gig, and it's going to be a super night.
Nice. So yeah, you heard it here first on the Shield on a Couch. The concert next year, next week, you can buy those tickets. So Richard, I want to thank you for joining me virtually here on the couch from Portugal to Puerto Rico. It's been fun. So couchers, if you want to listen to some like spacey, like go on a trip type of music, listen to Orgone Space Collective and their latest album, Orgone Unicorn, or you can listen to all of the other 39 albums that they have. There's
Gracias, Hector.
There's a lot of music. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.